you gotta learn how to not react to narcissists. You feel me? You gotta learn how to respond. Um, I think it's very dangerous when you react the way narcissists want you to react. They get that rise out of you, that energy out of you. That energy sometimes gets you caught up in things that got intense for no reason, 0 to 100. No idea how we got here, but we're here. But now we got to deal with it, like, and hand you off the problem and make you have to figure out how to fix it. You know what I'm saying? And not care about your outcome of your well being. You know what I'm saying? Like those reactions, man. Like I don't know about y'all, but I grew up in a household where it was like just a bunch of reactions and getting to situations and memories that could never be erased. You know what I'm saying? Never be erased. And understanding now at this point in my life, you know, being 37, like getting here thinking to myself, like, dang, everything doesn't require a reaction. I wish more people across the world really understood that concept too, man. But that's a whole different thing. But like pertaining to narcissists, you know what I'm saying? I digress. But you gotta learn how to not react to them. You know what I'm saying? For real, for real. Your well being can get compromised quickly. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a huge one because sometimes certain situations don't have to even go that far if you just understand, like, you gotta just be cool and relax. Like you understand when you see how they try to intensify situations that don't even need to be where it need to be at. You know what I'm saying? Starting arguments with you just sitting there eating apple. Ain't said nothing. We arguing about whatever the case may have you. Like it's crazy because of the amount of times where I could think back, like, man, what is happening? You know what I'm saying? You be sitting there like, what is happening? What's happening? But the reaction, but they keep pressing that button. You know what I'm saying? What they trained you on, like a shot collar. Like, don't go too far off that fence. You know, and I say that not to be like off the chain, but at the same time, like you get subconsciously programmed. For real, for real. That's how they get you with it. You know, training you with getting that trauma bond, making you get stuck in that loop, making you jump through fire rings, Barnum and Bailey. You know what I'm saying? Shrink in the ring. You know what I'm saying? Saying if you're gonna get burned this time, like it's just crazy what what the amount of things they'll take it to get a reaction out of you. I just really want you to understand, man. In these moments where it's intensified and you're not thinking clear enough, you gotta learn how to think, bro, sis. In those moments, you gotta learn how to respond. Think slow. They thinking too fast as it is. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of situations I know we can all attest to where it was like, oh, relax. They're not gonna relax. They want the reactions out of you. They want to be able to press that button to let you know that they're here. Because I'm it's not, sometimes it's not even just from lovers. It can be from your kinfolk, your parents. That's what I'm saying. They know how to press that button, say that thing to make you, go crazy. And and when I say go crazy, you get just drawn in and sucked into how they said it versus what somebody else said. And that's what I'm saying about just responding, man. Your actions in these moments where it intenses the trauma bond, but afterwards it takes even longer to recover from it. You know what I'm saying? If you just understand this, to respond now. Respond to what it is. No, I'm not doing this. Set your boundaries. That's why a lot of times, if you can go no contact, like go no contact, like you just remove yourself. You're more important than what you know. when you're in with the narcissist. You know what I'm saying? You're more important than what you know and what they tell you and how they show you. Like, I really want you to understand that, bro, sis. Like, you really are. You know, and I think it's key and vital that you get a sense of self now or still working on, because when you do this, when you get into arguments, fights, all this crazy stuff, all this nonsense, these is memories where it's like, dang, if I had just played it out different. It's not really just regret. It's just so that you can understand, like, if you don't have to react to them, if you don't have to be a doormat, if you don't have to, man, just go off and become the best version of yourself. Straight up, I mean that from the bottom of my heart. It's so many times where there's so many stories out there where a reaction happened with a narcissist. They can't do nothing else. You know what I'm saying? Jail time, whatever the case may have you, because of the reaction of a narcissist that was going to do this anyway. That was going to do the pattern. You know, we all know the pattern, man. Like, if you've been with a narcissist long enough, this is the lover tip. If you've been, well, even parents and stuff like that, you know the pattern. You know, Monday is gonna be like this, Tuesday is gonna be like that, Wednesday it's not gonna be that bad because they chilling or whatever the case may have you. You know, alcohol, all that. You know, Thursday, okay, it's back to the craziness, and Friday it might be chill depending on who here. Like, that's how you start to make an itinerary for the craziness throughout the week, throughout the month, throughout the year. When Christmas time comes, when your birthday comes, sabotaging any other moments in your life, getting those reactions. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just try to tell people in these videos this kind of information just because sometimes when I'm watching content, you know, in this space, I feel like um, the detail in between the nuances that you subliminally, sorry, um, get groomed into being devalued mentally by the narcissist. You know, I mean that because I wish when I had started, you know, the recovery journey to even kick started to begin with, you know, I wish I had known a lot of those in between moments where I was like, oh, okay, this is when I was getting. Oh, I didn't even know that. Because a lot of times, man, you don't even be knowing when you in these moments until somebody points it out to you. That's even if you want to listen at the time, because you are chasing the love bomb. You know, that ghost. That's what I be calling the love bomb ghost. You know what I'm saying? You chasing the ghost. You know what I'm saying? You chasing something that can never be in physical manifestation ever again. Casper. Oh, but bro did go. He did come physical again though. But I think he went back to ghost. But anyway, I digress. But I'm just saying, like, it's just that's what it is though, man. And if your response to the abuse afterwards is another thing that I want to touch on too, man. Your response to the abuse afterwards. I always tell people, you know, and even with myself, my response to starting to kickstart my recovery journey was fitness. I got straight into it. I knew I didn't want to feel the way that I had felt at the moment anymore. That's one thing I did know. I didn't like it. You know, I got pushed to the moment. I was like, man, this is crazy. This is off the chain. I got to figure out something to keep my mind straight because I don't want to keep thinking about this every single day, ruminating, stuck in the loop. Because they trained me with she trained me with the shock collar. I hate to say it like that, but that's what I'm saying though, man. Like, you know what I'm saying, with the mental subliminal. But you know, that's how they do you though. They make you feel like it's hard to leave them mentally. That's what I'm emphasizing, for real, for real. It makes them feel like it's hard to leave them mentally. Like, you can't think without them because they've told you what you're good at and what you're not. You know, so my response to all of this, from all of those reactions that I had to live with, afterwards, all that was getting into the gym. Straight up. I needed something to focus on that was going to bring me a sense of self. You know what I'm saying? And when I started to learn about nutrition and learn more about, working out and mind muscle connection, like that was really key though, because as I'm going through these gym sessions, especially at the beginning of my journey, like when I'm going through these sessions, I'm going in these moments thinking, because there's a lot of people going to the gym, recovering from narcissistic abuse. I just want you to understand that, like, bro, sis, a lot of people are really doing that. That's real life. I can't tell you how many conversations I've had about, you know, my abuse journey, man. I know exactly what you're talking about. I've been through this, or a lady told me something off the chain. Like, I got it. Like, and I'd be like, dang, man, I remember when, they'd be like, oh, yeah, fines, man. Yeah, I know what you're talking about, and I'll be like, yeah, because there's so many people who needs a physical outlet. Like, when I always say this, working on your body is directly working on your mind. It speeds up the journey because you start to understand, like, you're actually putting an effort into something that's giving you an ROI back. You put so much effort into the narcissist, you're not getting an ROI back. You and I both know that. You're getting drained, losing yourself, surviving a narcissist. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, man, like that's what it is, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, understanding that journey and like understanding like mind muscle connection, learning how to mentally connect to muscles when you're working out and stuff like that. Like I started to understand how to separate my thoughts from what is what I need to be thinking about and what is what I shouldn't. What I shouldn't not be worried about is things that I can't control anymore that I already passed. Why am I holding on to this? It can't do anything else for me. It's not to be mean to myself and try to rush myself, but it's also to be honest with myself. It's a choice to think about this stuff. You know what I'm saying? Just FYI. I'm not trying to like be mean, but at the same time, like when you start to recover, it starts to understand it is kind of a choice. You know what I'm saying? But I'm saying like in the midst of that choice, working out, you can learn how to separate your thoughts of what that is and what's more important. What's more important is your health. Getting out of depression, working on your mental health. That's what's more important. That's why I said like all doing all that, and every single day and making sure this and that and the other and my diet, da 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 da. And I started to ask myself, I was like, dang, I don't even know why I was even tripping to begin with. When you work on yourself, when you self improving yourself for real, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart, when you start self improving yourself, especially when you work on your health and wellness, like you'll up your standards up just by just innately. You feel what I'm saying? I read a quote. What was the quote, man? Um, I forgot the quote. You know what I'm saying? It said, "Don't worry about rotten fruit; it'll fall by itself." And I don't know why it was so profound to me when I heard that. That I think that's how you said, but yeah, like you don't worry about it anymore. You know what I'm saying? Narcissist is going to be the same person anyway, the next person anyway. Yeah, the one that knew about you, the one you met. You know what I'm saying? Like it's they're going to be the same person with them anyway. Your response to the nonsense is to go be a better version of you. That's the response. You don't need to show reactions and talk subliminally online. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not that deep. Like a lot of stuff that the narcissist has done to you to get those reactions out of you, to get that energy out of you. They want to see if they can always get that energy out of you anyway. You know what I'm saying? You got to learn how to gray rock. Gray rock is also another terminology where you're neutral with the narcissist, not out of fear, but you're neutral because you know how they are. What's the point of responding to somebody who's going to always overreact about every single thing? What is the point even giving that kind of energy? You know what I'm saying? don't be in fear of, if I meet and run into the narcissist again, what you mean? Just relax. It's not that deep. You ain't gotta hate them. You ain't gotta hate them. You know what I'm saying? Just know that they don't align with you and relax. It's not like a lot of don't overreact about that. Just relax. Because if they see they can get that out of you again, the shock collar. I know I gotta stop saying that. But at the same time, like, no, it's they want to see if they still have you mentally trained. Barnum and Bailey's. Okay, I'll stop. No, but it's for real though. If they can still get that kind of rise out of you, man, if they got you, they can always come back. Hoover you. That's another one too, man. Like, you can't let a narcissist hoover you either, man. Don't accept the hoovers. There's nothing to talk about. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you got kids. If it's not about the kids, there's really nothing else to talk about, to be honest. You know what I'm saying? If you're in those kind of situations. But your response to all of this, just um, moments that can never be taken back, words that can never be erased. Just that's your response, man. Go get better, bro, sis. You will. You can. You are. Straight up. You're becoming a version of yourself that you were trying to become with the narcissist. You know what I'm saying? I really want somebody to understand what I'm about to say. Like, it's not to point the finger that it's their fault, but at the same time, it's also to understand, like, your effort and attention was going towards trying to make this work. You couldn't make anything else work in your life. How many times have your reactions like that happened to where you lost a car, a job, a house? You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta understand this, bro, sis. You gotta understand this well. The response is key. You know what I'm saying? Your response is key to your mental health going forward in life with anything else. Having a positive outlook, trusting people again. You know what I'm saying? When you working on your health and wellness, man, you get really a high, clear insight on yourself, because it makes you realize how much have you really neglected yourself for real. Do you really love yourself the way you say you do? It's not to say that it's like when you're fit you're better than everybody. It's not the case that I'm saying that for to have you. It's the case of you paying attention to yourself. Can you align to yourself? You know what I'm saying? Can you focus? Can you give that energy you've given to that relationship to you? Like, you give that energy that you was given to this relationship to yourself. Can you align with self? Can you really real focus? You know what I'm saying? Because once you do that and you realize that, you get that clarity, you start to really understand, like, dang, you know what? This is what self worth really is. You're able to pour out of your cup. Because with a narcissist, you're not getting none of that shit back. That's over with. It's empty. You know what I'm saying? Like, straight up. It's to under like the responses to the narcissist is really like just vital in general. For your safety, to keep it a stack. That's real too, though. You wanna be responsive to the narcissist. You wanna be able to tell yourself no and set your boundaries. Say no. It's okay. Yes, they're gonna probably put their attention and go off to the new supply and trying to let you do all these things to torment you mentally. You say no. So what? You live and you will and you are living without a narcissist. You feel what I'm saying? I hope this video really helps somebody, man, because I wish when I started at the journey at the beginning of it, like, I had somebody tell me the nuances, the things that you get mentally groomed by, and you be like, dang, I didn't even know that I was even okay. Like, it's almost, listen, is it being hypnotized straight up to keep it a stack with you? But again, just your responses to just to get better, to get the narcissist. It's never anything deep to continue any type of contact whatsoever, especially when you start to succeed, bro. sis. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. You know what I'm saying? There's more to life than living in fear of the narcissist or just living in the chaos that you don't have to, that you don't want to. You feel what I'm saying? Response, 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 response. You feel me? So I hope this message finds you well. I'm Fonzie Murph. I'm out. Peace.